As the school year comes to a close, lots of families are wondering about the plans for summer.
Will there be camps? How do they stay safe? When will we know? All of these questions. And you really spent the day yesterday trying to track down some answers on this because everybody's in sort of a different place, right?
Exactly, because I was very interested in knowing this answer.
Yes.
Right?
This is news for you and me. Is
right,
what this
exactly.
Is, yeah.
So I ended up calling, dozens of camps yesterday just to get a sense of where people's heads were. And I tell you, I got a different answer from every single camp. Some of them canceled outright. For example, the Science Museum, their in-person camps canceled outright. The Arboretum canceled outright. But you talk to Girl Scouts River Valleys, they're going virtual. St. Paul hopes to start in mid-July. Mid-June. St. Louis Park hopes to start in July. And then I talked to a bunch of them and said, look, we just need to wait and see.
Yeah, obviously.
It's not great answers.
Right, yeah. It's the worst answer, Heather, right?
I know. Sorry, that happens sometimes.
We had, our kids do a couple different things.
Yeah.
The oldest was going to do a debate camp at the University of Minnesota, and that was canceled.
Right.
And they weighed, do we do a virtual thing? And some things don't just don't work as a virtual scenario, No. And then the restriction right now that you can only have 10 people together.
Right.
And that sort of, the camp that my youngest son would go to, they changed the camp from being a camp to like a daycare sort of scenario, which sounded the least amount of fun possible, where you'd be with the same 9 kids all summer long.
And that's the thing. That's the ratio. It's this 9-to-1 ratio is if for the camps that are open. So it's interesting. I talked with the YMCA Twin Cities. So they run one of the biggest camp operations in Minnesota. I mean, last year it was 20,000 kids a day. And what it was is that the Minnesota Department of Health tells them, yes, you can do this. We can do the day camps. Still can't do the overnight camps. You can do the day camps. And here's where you'll see the biggest changes. At drop-off, they'll be asking questions about symptoms. They'll be taking the temperature, trying to look for fevers. And then, Jason, you mentioned that 9-to-1 ratio where the kids will have to stay in these groups of 10.
Like the whole time, a lot of camps are doing it, right?
Right, and
it's not like you're going to intermingle.
Around. Right, so if you're going to go play basketball, you'll do it with that group of 10. If you're going to eat lunch over here in the field, you'll do it with that group of 10.
Better like those 9 kids.
Right? Yeah, so the staff inside, they'll wear masks. If there's a rain day or so, they'll try and keep everything as they can outside. These YMCA camps are huge spaces, so they can spread out. They're not going to share art supplies, more disinfecting. And you wonder if this could be a little bit of what school might look like if school opens up fully in September.
I mean, even if it's just for a day camp, I think parents and kids are going to appreciate the opportunity to send those kids to the YMCA scenario, just because there are so few other options. Youth sports, everything. It's going to be a weird summer.
Absolutely. And parents, if you are still interested, the Y generally fills up, but this year they do have spaces open all throughout the season.
Good to know. Good to